I like how you've put Corvus on. Welcome back to Curse of Strahd, the Strahdiest vampiric. Well, it's not even like a vampire story anymore. It's just Paavu getting in trouble.
That would not happen ever.
It's accurate.
No.
It's totally accurate.
Our adventurers in our previous adventures, our adventurers successfully escorted the striking woman Irina Kolyana from this village of Barovia to Vallaki, and they found solace in the Blue Water Inn, run by the Raven training Erwin and Danica Mardukov. From Erwin, you guys learned that the Burgomeister, Vargas Velikovich, keeps an iron grip on the town to maintain happiness, and that the noblewoman Lady Fiona Wachter is one of the few people to openly criticize him. Erwin also asks our adventurers to investigate missing deliveries from the nearby winery, claiming the wine has properties that fight the despairing effects of Barovia, which our adventurers have indeed felt before. En route to the town's church, you encounter a crowd watching a small dancing monkey in a tutu. It gives you a card that read, "Is no fun, is no Blinsky," and guided the party to a downtrodden toy shop run by the eccentric Gadolf Blinsky. Among his morbid toy shop, you found dolls that look suspiciously like Irina Kolyana. Blinsky claims that Izek Strahd, the Burgomeister's terrifying lackey, ordered him to make the dolls, and that he has no idea that Izek was describing a real person. He claimed that Izek will burn down the shop if he doesn't receive his dolls, but Paavu confiscated them and burnt them in the street himself.
Because I'm a good dude.
Because you're a great dude. Do the voice? Which voice?
Oh, the
Blinsky's
Gadolf
voice.
Blinsky.
I will wait until you guys get back and meet Blinsky again. He's an integral character in the.
We did like the Tim Burton shop, so it's likely we'll go back.
Exactly. You escorted Irina to the Church of St. Andrel, where you met the Fervous Father Lucian Petrovic. He allowed Irina refuge from Strahd inside the church, claiming that the grounds are magically hollowed. Zeros, who was previously raised from the dead by strange forces, found himself unable to enter the church grounds. Paavu and Reven suspected foul play in the church and broke into the undercroft, finding some magical bones in a locked altar, but decided to leave them be. Later that night, in the warehouse district, Elphaba and Zeros discovered strange noises from inside Rictavio's carnival wagon, and that the wagon was stained with blood. Asking Rictavio about it later, they learned that he harbors a saber-toothed tiger as a pet, but asked our adventurers not to mention it, lest they cause panic in the town. At night, on their way back to the inn, our adventurers investigated a scream down an alley. Undead beggars had attacked a woman and were beginning to eat her. But our adventurers slayed them and healed the woman. Later, you learned that the corpses that aren't properly tended to will occasionally become undead, even in a town like Vallaki. The next day, our adventurers gathered Irina to visit the Burgomeister. She tells that she learned of a tower on a lake that might fit Madame Eva's Taroko reading. You found that the Burgomeister's mansion doubled as the town hall and is full of wicker decorations for the next festival. While most of you got ready to meet the Burgomeister, Paavu investigated the rest of the house, finding a beautiful wedding dress and a strange ruined mirror. As the rest of the family met with the boisterous Baron Vargas Velikovich and his wife Lydia.
Charming.
All will be well.
As well as their dogs Lucy and Goosey. While the rest of the party was speaking with Baron Vargas, Paavu is caught by the demon-armed Izek Strahd. Failing to use the spell command, Izek sentenced Paavu to the stocks.
Paavu declined.
Paavu declined, and that is where we leave ourselves today.
Dun, dun, dun.
So right now, Izek has right behind Paavu. You guys are just south, in the floor beneath, almost like on the same line as Paavu, almost directly underneath him. Izek shouts out, Well, basically, Paavu turns, tries to command him. I think you said flee, and Izek said, "No, you are sentenced to." I don't know what he said. I
The
forgot.
stocks.
Stocks.
Yeah, was it the stocks?
It was the stocks.
It
All
was.
right. And in any case, he hoists his massive great axe and reaches to attack Paavu.
Can I get an action in before
No.
we start combat?
It has to be. I have to run initiative because you guys don't really get to surprise each other. The combat sort of started when you cast command. That was your
That was my surprise round, was it?
surprise round.
Okay.
Elphaba and Zeros, you guys don't hear anything going on. You are surprised right now. So are the Mastiffs, Lady Lydia, Reven, Irina, Baron Vargas, Delvin, and Corvus.
So we don't know anything's going on?
You guys haven't heard anything.
We heard the
Oh.
bump, and that was it. The thump of the ladder.
And Izek is the first one to go, as you guys are all sort of
Really
surprised by this.
unfortunate.
Isaac hoists his battle axe and makes 2 attacks. Swinging directly at your chest, Paavu. Gets a 23 to hit.
Oh, jeez.
Yay.
Doing just sort of scraping across your chest. Barely hurts you at all. 15 slashing damage.
Oh,
Oh, jeez.
that's all. Okay.
Uh,
I will use Stone's Endurance.
Yeah. Roll me a d12.
Where are we? There we are.
Nice.
That's much more manageable.
You shrug off using your stony pecs. The second attack, however, gets a much less impressive 13 to hit.
I'm quite impressed by that number. He should roll those repeatedly.
And does a pretty bad dent into your full plate, as you would have taken 22 slashing damage.
Oof. Oh, that's my armor.
Isaac, looking that his sword didn't do, or his great axe didn't do as much as he hoped, sort of looks at you with shock. Paavu, it is your turn.
I'm going to say this is just a simple misunderstanding. No.
Ooh.
And try and extricate myself from this.
Isaac, wow. Isaac rolls a natural 1, which turns out to be a 0.
Oh,
Wow.
beautiful.
Isaac is frightened of you for a minute, and can repeat the save at the end of each of his turns.
Cannot move closer to me.
All of you downstairs, what you hear is the sound of Isaac straining as to hit Paavu, screaming at the top of his lungs, "Go to jail! Do not pass go!"
But he's afraid of me.
Well, that was before that. And then Paavu yells out, "No!" and exudes a terrifying presence,
All right.
which you guys feel downstairs.
I'm gonna move outside and see what I can see.
Whoa, whoa, I gotta move. Hold on.
Oh,
Hold
sorry,
on.
yeah, it's Paavu, you can move.
I'm going to move.
So Isaac, even though he is frightened of you, still gets his opportunity attack.
That's
He
okay.
has disadvantage because you are
Terrifying.
terrifying
I am
him.
terrifying.
12.
That's 15. I'm gonna move to there.
Perfect. So yeah, you can see this is sort of open to below. I can even put that on the map.
Boom.
That is about this location right here. Elphaba, you hear the stuff going on upstairs, and it is your turn.
Okay. And he's directly above us.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, kind of. Off sort of to the side.
Okay. Then I'm just gonna move. Yeah, I'm gonna move to here. Yes.
Okay. Anything else on your turn?
Can I send a message to Paavu and ask what's going on?
I think so. Message doesn't require line of sight or anything, does it?
No,
No,
if you're familiar
so.
with the target, it can go through barriers and such.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Then I am gonna do that.
Yeah, what do you say to Paavu? Like, just what's going on?
And
I'm
he can
gonna ask
and
him
he
what's
can
happening.
respond. Yeah.
If he's okay.
I just lost Lindsay.
You want to hit a refresh?
Yeah.
She is refreshing.
All right.
I'm going to respond to the rest of the party, which fortunately she can hear. Or I'm going to respond to Elphaba, rather, that Izek has run mad and is attacking for no reason.
Elphaba, do you respond that to the party?
Do you relay that to the party?
Yes.
Yes, she does relay that to the party.
Lady Lydia gasps, and Baron Vargas is sort of like, "What?" Zeros.
Is it possible for me to make it out the door, or would I not be able to?
Yeah, Baron Vargas is not quite hostile to you yet.
Okay. I'm going to talk telepathically to him and say, your servant has gone mad and is attacking our companion, so we are going to make sure our companion is okay. And I head out the door.
Okay.
So I guess I make it till here.
Yeah, that would be about 30 feet. Yeah. So you can see Paavu sort of just up the stairs,
Okay.
running, running towards the stairs downstairs. The mastiffs, sort of. Actually, sorry. Rewind a bit. Zeros, you actually have an action.
Oh, I will hold my action. I guess either an attack if someone aggressive is coming, or can I do an and/or kind of thing?
Not really. You have to pick one sort of thing to
Okay.
hold.
I'll hold an action, just
Like-
an attack. Sorry.
Okay, like Eldritch Blast, or because you have to pick the thing beforehand.
Sure. Yeah.
All right. The mastiffs sort of start yapping, barking and growling, and they become hostile to the rest of you guys. Though they
Can you
don't
hear,
immediately attack.
Linz?
Rip, can you hear Lindsay?
No, I can't hear or see her.
You had a quick refresh. She can't hear or see you, and she's refreshed twice.
I will do so.
Welcome, Katie.
And
Greetings, greetings.
so just to recap for you, combat has started.
I know. I was watching on Twitch and I was like, God.
Probably while driving.
It's-
Not at all.
don't drive in D&D.
Lady Lydia is going to sort of gasp and jump onto the couch that she's standing on, sort of pushing herself into the back corner. But rather than like looking terrified, she's got a big smile and just like ha 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 ha.
Wow.
That bitch going crazy.
So
Yeah.
I don't see Zeros rather.
He is reloading in.
Okay. I still do not see Rip. Oh, D&D.
I think it's more a roll 20 thing. I don't think
Oh,
D&D
Roll20.
comes with video audio issues.
That would be awesome if they did, but
I keep seeing Zeros reload or refresh, but I don't see him.
Wait, it's hold on.
Eh.
We should do an over/under drinking game on how long it takes him to reconnect.
Take a shot every time.
the Roll20 drinking game. How many people you take a drink every time somebody can't see somebody else?
Yeah.
Oh, we should totally start that game.
Oh my
I think we
gosh.
I think we'd all be pretty sloppy.
Oosh.
So I'll start.
I'll join you.
Alright, here we go.
In the meantime, Revan, it is your turn.
All right. Can I get outside to where I can actually see Izek at all?
So right now the mastiffs have actually started growling and like become hostile to you guys. They look like they will bite you if anyone gets close to them.
Where let's see. They are near the door.
Yes.
Well, that's unfortunate. Crap. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna just start playing my lute, and I am going to use. Of course, the problem is like the combat round is how long?
6 seconds.
6 seconds.
Crap. So it would take me 10 combat rounds to use enthralling performance.
Yes.
Suggestion.
I've already used suggestion. It's a problem.
You can use it multiple times, though. You've got it memorized for the day.
So I've got
that's the
3.
way bardic casting works.
So I've
Yep,
got.
you're a bard. You cast like a sorcerer used to.
Oh, so
I've got to
it
refresh.
doesn't like I've just got 3 spell slots and I can use any of those spells for that slot. Is that how that works?
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, well, that changes things a bit. Let's see. Suggest a course of activity limited to a sentence or 2 and magically influence. Okay, I will then use suggestion to the Baron, or the Burgomeister, sorry, to have him call off his dogs. And I'm going to sound extraordinarily reasonable about it. Could you please call off your dogs? There's no reason for this. We are no harm to you. We are guests in your manor.
I'll give him disadvantage on his wisdom save because you are being very polite, and that's what he wants. So yeah, just click the suggestion so I can see.
Yep, I'm about to. Let's see. There we go.
Yeah, 1 action, concentration. Call off the dogs. He's immediately going to say like, Lucy, Goosey, down, girls. And both dogs will. They sort of look like they are no longer readying an attack.
Okay. And then I will step out and try to get in line of sight of Izek.
Sure. So Izek unfortunately isn't in the hallway above.
Because he's terrified, obviously.
So yeah, you can getting past the dogs. Do you want me to move your token or?
Yeah, I can't see where.
So yeah, that's sort of as far as you can get.
Okay.
You know that's where Paavu is
Yes.
right now. Open to below. That is right here.
I see.
Well, I went the wrong way when I moved.
You were heading up. You were heading forward.
Yeah.
I get it.
So yeah, that was all of your stuff.
I will to use a. Can I use my bonus action for Bardic Inspiration on Paavu?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I will do that.
Ding-de-ling. Thank you, sir. Is that a D8 or D6?
It is D6 until next level, I believe.
Okay.
Irina is going to sort of step back against the wall, and she's shocked hearing this. Like, Izek went crazy, and she's like, she basically is surprised this round because Izek, she knows, is the one who made these dolls, and Izek going crazy has sort of terrified her. She pulls out her weapon. Zeros is back.
Yay!
Rip,
Is everyone dead?
Yes,
yes.
and it's all your fault.
Ah.
You saved us, but you weren't here.
Irina pulls her blade out from Zeros's back. Irina's terrified. Her eyes are opened wide, and she steps back, pushing herself against the wall, and she pulls out her silver rapier. Baron Vargas is like, "What is the meaning of all this? Izek going crazy? How could you know that?" And he storms out and starts storming up the stairs.
Uh-oh.
So that space would be right here. And he looks to see Paavu, and he looks at you, Paavu, and he's just kind of like, "What have you done? Why are you up here?" And he
I was looking for the loo and I couldn't find it. I tried to.
Dashes up the stairs to get right next to you, though he still can't he's not in line of sight of Izek.
And I don't have a weapon drawn, so
True.
I'm
Yeah.
looking very not threatening.
I'd like you to make me a deception check.
You can use
I
bardic
would,
inspiration for this.
You can.
I would love to. Let me open my character sheet because that's a thing that you should do. Let's see. Where is deception? There we are.
Very nice. He is sort of like, "The maid should have told you where the loo was."
I'm sorry. I was confused. I was just looking for the loo, and your ward, he attacked me as I was trying to find my way back downstairs.
So he believes you, though he is kind of like, "Why would you go upstairs? There's no bathrooms upstairs."
Well,
there's
this is a manor house. Why would there not be a bathroom upstairs? You live very well.
This is olden times. There's no bathrooms inside.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Especially not upstairs.
I'm a visitor, and I use the capital V.
All of our bathrooms are upstairs.
In the land that I come from, there's always a bathroom upstairs in the manor house. In fact, very few manor houses have bathrooms on the ground floor.
Where does the poop go? And as he's arguing with you,
The steam elementals take care of the poop.
Wow.
Yeah.
Elaborate ruse.
that's
Are we hearing
It's an
this
18 deception,
conversation?
baby.
I'm assuming that the Baron's pretty vocal when he's saying this.
yes, yeah. You guys can definitely hear all through this house. It's not a huge house.
Okay. I'm just going to step back kind of next to Arena just to kind of... I will ready Calm Emotions spell just in case the dogs seem to want to disobey their master and turn on us again.
That is an excellent idea. Corvus.
So are we actually attacking anything right now?
No.
For fun? Oh. I'm just gonna stay where I am.
But
My arm.
if I can get what I want to get done, things are about to get real.
So, Isaac's turn. He is still frightened and is going to move up sort of to the edge of this balcony.
Cannot move there.
We can't move closer to you?
Cannot move closer to me.
Oh crap!
I am terrifying.
Well, it just says as an action you force them to be frightened of you. It doesn't say anything about moving towards you.
Hold on. Let me pop it again. Hold on. Let me pull it up from book here.
Yeah.
I did some reading about this over
Yeah, it's an
the course of the week.
status effect.
It says the creature cannot willingly move closer to the source of its fear. That's
right.
frightened.
It's under frightened. Yeah.
Oh, it's under frightened. Oh, I'm sorry. So yeah, Izek is going to run away, sort of down the stairs.
He bravely ran away.
He never did.
Let me take that back. Izek is a brave man. He is magically terrified, but he's going to stand his ground. He's not going to be able to approach you. He's too scared for that. But he is just going to shout as he hears Baron Vargas come up, and he shouts, "That hideous gray man is terrifying, and he went into your bedroom. You can see he tried to get into the attic, into Master Victor's attic. And he just sort of, stomps on the ground, running back and forth. The Baron looks at you, Paavu, and is like, "You were in our bedroom?"
I was looking for the loo. I said so.
Yes, that does make sense. Izek, stand down. And as he says that, the dogs in the bedroom or in the room with you guys sort of calm down, and Lady Lydia gets off the couch, and everything sort of gets back to quiet. Though Izek doesn't get any closer to you. Baron Vargas sort of looks at you, Paavu, and he's like, "Now, I would like to speak with you, if you don't mind. I can show you to the bathroom if you'd like."
I must use the loo, but then I would be happy to speak with you.
"Yes, of course. There is an outhouse in the garden.
Wonderful.
Unfortunately, it does not have steam elemental power, but..."
Oh, well, it may take me a bit longer then.
And Izek, please come join us.
Yeah.
And Isaac's like, I will later.
All right, I will move. Now, is it in the front?
It's in the back. The maids will help you find it. Maids, Jessica. I can't think of a good old-timey name.
Mary.
And Mary sort of walks up to you, and it's the maid that you sort of startled in the kitchen.
I can't take myself downstairs.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can do that right now.
I'm stuck. Help.
The maid from the kitchen sort of walks out to meet you, and she's like, "If you had told me you were going to find the washroom, I would have brought you out there right there. You said
My
you were
need is
investigating."
urgent. Please, hurry, woman.
Yes, of course.
Urgent.
Leads you to the back room. Baron Vargas doesn't come with you. Revan and Zeros, do you guys follow? Baron Vargas goes back into the house, or back into the den.
Yes.
I
will
If you guys follow,
move back.
Yes.
I can't go in for some reason.
you have to go through the door.
That's entirely.
Poppycock.
I can't walk through walls?
So the Baron is sort of like looking back and forth. Paavu, I assume, the commoner leads you to an outhouse. I assume you go through the motions of pretending to use it.
I mean, I really do have to pee. I don't know how one does that in full plate armor.
Okay, so I believe it takes an hour, 10 minutes to take off armor.
I'm
though
going to just pretend to pee.
There's probably a flap.
I like it. I'm going to use the flap.
Excellent.
And then get back to the room as quickly as possible.
Do you get back to the den, or?
I think I will go back to the den this time.
Okay.
And I'm also going to lay on hands on myself while in the restroom.
Oh.
This is a PG stream. I don't think Twitch allows us to do that kind of thing. As you're going to the washroom, the rest of the party, Baron Vargas is still saying like, "Well, I apologize. Izek has never been so outlandish as to attack someone just looking for the washroom. I must apologize to you, Master. What was your name? My tall, terrifying gray friend?"
I will remove my helm and place it under my arm and say, Paavu Waldex Rothnir.
Oh, yes, of the Rothnir family, I assume. So he's pretty intimidated from you because you're in like a wolf helm, and
Paavu is my captain of the guard, so
yes, you were a duke, I believe.
Indeed, Duke Revan Antalis.
Yes. I've heard of your family's exploits. Yes, all will be well. Now, I don't remember exactly what we were discussing previously. What was it again?
We were speaking of the the situation in your town, whether or not it might be available for additional residents, perhaps, and talking a little bit about the upcoming festival.
Yes. Irina Kolyana, I would, like I said before, I would absolutely love a woman of your stature to come into our town. It would be excellent to have another ally in the noble corps. And you, Duke Reven, perhaps you could join our noble brigade of keeping and influencing happiness, keeping happiness in this town. Yes, all will be well, all will be well. Blah, blah, blah.
Indeed, happiness is in fact important. So, tell me about this festival that we hear is upcoming. What can you tell me about it?
Yes, the Festival of the Blazing Sun. We will be creating a massive sun wicker statue, which we will burn as a bonfire in praise of the Morning Lord. It will be the most spectacular sight of the entire year until next week's festival, which I haven't decided upon the event yet, but it will be just as fantastic, I'm sure.
Have you seen success in driving back the forces of the devil with these festivals?
Oh, of course. As you can see in this town, you've said yourself you enjoyed it quite immensely, I believe.
I want to roll
We did.
insight
We
on
did.
that.
Yeah. So remember insight and stuff like that I'm doing
Yep.
secretly. So what you're getting, because you're actually pretty good at insight, I believe,
Yeah, +6.
+6, is you're getting the thought that Vargas is actually kind of scatterbrained and kind of not all there. He is perhaps a little too confident in the power of happiness fighting Strahd. Absolutely not making sense.
Right. Okay.
While this is happening, I'd like to try and make an animal handling check to get one of the dogs to come over.
Yeah, for sure. Roll me animal handling.
And I would like to use my inspiration.
Go for it.
Wow.
Pretty damn good. The dogs are both kind of like hesitant to get anywhere more than like 5 feet away from Baron Vargas, but they do start like sniffing around you and start like approaching you gingerly. But as soon as they get like a couple steps away, Baron Vargas just snaps his fingers, and the dogs put their tails between their legs and cower back beneath his feet.
Well-trained beast you have there.
Yes, everything in town should be just as obedient as these dogs, I'm sure. Obedience is next to godliness, as you say.
No, we don't say that.
Yes, we do. Of course, we do. All will be well.
I'm gonna nod and say yes, well-trained dogs, and I'm gonna pull out a strip of dried meat out of a ration, rip it in half, and toss it to each of them.
Thank you. And he's looking at you. Baron Vargas is just kind of like, that was a very generous if presumptuous gesture.
It's the least I can do after all the confusion.
So, I was wondering. We have a custom amongst my people. As a gesture of welcome, there is a song that I typically perform as a sign of thanking you for your hospitality. If I might be so good as to perform this for you, as a symbol of goodwill for my people.
Yes, of course. Perhaps you could play this song at the festival as well, if I enjoy it as much as I believe I will.
I would enjoy to do so, indeed. And I'm going to perform, and I will, a really sort of enchanting, almost a little bit of an elven flair to it, kind of sound of ethereal. But I'm going to cast as part of that, and what is it? Enthralling performance.
Yep.
So.
So yeah, can you click that
Doesn't
onto
wanna-
the chat?
Doesn't want to click.
It hates you, that's why.
Can I not click the... There we go.
Yeah, you gotta click the little
Yeah.
button. So you inspire wonder. Choose a number of humanoids equal to your charisma modifier, which is a few of 3, I think.
It is 3. So I will, if Izek is anywhere near, I will pick him. If not him, then I will pick Irina, the Burgomeister, and his wife.
And they get a wisdom save. Both the Baron and his wife get a 7, whereas Irina gets an 18.
Yeah, that's fine. She wasn't really the target anyway. It's not like she's wise that anything happened.
Lady Lydia blushes in a very unladylike manner, whereas Baron Vargas steps right up to you and, like, as soon as you finish your song, he takes your hand in his, and he's just like, oh, amazing, Lord Al-Kazan. I am so happy to see there is such talent outside these walls.
My thanks.
You must bring your talents to the festival and be our guests of honor.
I would be honored. I thank you.
Yes, of course it would be. That's the name of it, guests of honor. Did you hear that, Lydia? Did you hear it's going to be our guest of honor? Yes, I did. Irina has no hints that you tried to charm it.
Yeah, it
charm
doesn't.
her.
It's not like a normal charm spell. So.
So yeah, these guys love you. And Baron Vargas is like, please, is there anything that I can do for you? You've given us such amazing techniques of music, and all will be well. All will be well.
Actually, it's kind that you offer. If we could take opportunity to re-provision my compatriots here, we had a bit of a hard road getting here, as you might well imagine, with the forces of the devil out amongst the countryside.
Oh, I'm so sorry, but please, all will be well.
Well, thank you.
What provisions could I offer you?
Well,
Yes.
as you can see, some of my companions, their accoutrements are a bit drab from the travel here. I fortunately, they were able to spare me from having to sully my hands with combat. But if you could
as
help
we do.
re-provision them, that would be very welcome.
Of course, our guards are some of the most well-provisioned guardsmen in all of Barovia. I will call upon Izek to lead you to the guardery, as I call it, where you can take any of our armor and weapons. That's the best I can do, and of course, any food from my very own kitchen.
I thank you. We would welcome a meal, in fact.
Yes.
Who is this Lord Victor that I looked up earlier?
Victor is my son.
Where is he?
He's an eccentric young boy, very, very intelligent. He prefers to spend most of his time in the attic. You know, he plays his games, and we don't really have a basement. Otherwise, he would probably be there.
A disturbed child.
I would like to whisper into Riven's head. Maybe we should inquire about Izek and his fascination with Irina, or just about Izek.
Before you do that, I just wanted to mention that both Delvin and Corvus, you guys are getting the feeling that if it wasn't obvious before, Baron Vargas is definitely uncomfortable talking about his son.
Right. Okay.
So sorry, Zeros.
I will use message and just sort of under my breath, all in due time.
Baron Vargas will turn to Irina and say, if you wish, I believe you must all be staying at the inn. I don't have a house for all 7 of you compatriots, but for you, Miss Kolyana, I can definitely find a vacant home for you. It may not be the highest quality mansion available at such short notice, but certainly I can give you a roof over your head. And Irina's sort of like, yes, that would be That would be most amenable. Thank you very much, Burgomeister. Not at all. Nothing. All will be. Blah, blah, blah. It's really hard to say that over and over. It's kind of a tongue twister after a while. He says, "I will send Izek to find you at the inn once I have acquired a place for you to live." And Revan, you see like Irina's standing next to you, and she kind of gives you a little squeeze on the hand. You can tell that she's uncomfortable.
I will squeeze her hand back. I thank you. Yes, have him come see us. I'll accompany her.
Yes, of course. Lord Raven, you can show us the skills at appraising houses that I'm sure you have.
Indeed. I'm interested to see the architecture you have here.
To some of the best in Barovia.
So I've
My
heard.
father built most of them.
Intriguing.
All of you can tell he is lying. Unfortunately, my friends, I must go off. The DM is finding it very difficult to keep this voice up. I have some other business I must attend to, but Izek, come down here, please. In a minute.
Or less than a minute.
I guess it was a minute for enthralling performance. Yeah. So Izek will sort of poke his head around, still a little uncomfortable. And you guys notice as he sees Irina, his face goes white. And as does Irina's, though.
Okay, I am immediately going to use Detect Thoughts.
Yeah.
Didn't even know that was a thing.
Yep.
It is now.
He's half mind flayer, so.
All right, so it is verbal, somatic, and material. So it's very difficult for you to do secretly.
So I'm going to say I'm basically going to. How would that work? Can I work it into like a conversation?
Yeah, I'd say like maybe a deception check to try and hide that stuff.
I'm basically going to inquire. I see that perhaps you've met before, and I'll use that to kind of weave in the spell deception.
14 is enough. These guys are not very perceptive people. The somatic components have to be like you playing your lute. So you're probably like.
Yeah, I'd already just performed, so still.
Record.
Yeah.
So you could tell the surface thoughts of Izek on its mind right now is basically, holy shit, she actually exists. His entire thought is just stuck on Irina's presence. Baron Vargas turns and says, Izek, please show these people to the guard tower where they can find as many accoutrements as they can. Make sure that they find the good stuff. Sorry, I interrupted you, Revan.
So I was just gonna ask him, have you met before?
Izek, no, I have never met this woman in my life.
And I'm seeing where his thoughts go.
You remember his dreams. He has had many, many dreams over about Irina. That is just his sort of surface thoughts. If you try and probe deeper, he will. He'll have to make a wisdom save.
Yeah, and I'm going to say, well, she is the woman of many a man's dreams, I'm sure. And yeah, just kind of follow his line of thought. So yes, I'm going to try to probe deeper.
So probing deeper, either way, the target knows you are probing into its mind, and unless you shift your attention to another creature's thoughts, he can use an intelligence check.
I did not see that. Let's see. So yeah, I'm not gonna do that. Let's see.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. I'll just. How does he react to that statement?
He's still just shocked to see Irina and is not really listening to your words.
Okay. Well, for a minute, I'm just going to see where his surface thoughts go.
Seeing Riven's intensity there, I'm going to step forward and indicate the emblem on the shield and sword and cloak clasps that I carry, and ask the Baron to. I was able to procure some equipment in an unusual manner on the road. What can you tell me about this symbol and the history?
Spirit Vargas. Well, that particular windmill looks much like the windmill on the hill. I believe the common folk call it Old Bone Grinder.
And why do they call it that?
Well, I believe there's some stories of hags that live there, though I don't hold such things to be true, I'm sure.
And who owns the Old Bone Grinder?
It is a decrepit old building. No one owns it. If you wish to refurbish it, I'm sure I could help.
Interesting. I may indeed.
You are a friend of the magnificent Master Reven.
The head of his household guard, in fact.
Maestro Reven. So as you guys are talking, Izek is still just sort of staring at Irina, and Irina is slowly getting more and more pale.
I'm listening to every thought that he has, and that is all I'm concentrating on at the moment.
Do I notice her getting uncomfortable?
And I will,
Yeah,
I'll sort of squeeze her hand comfortingly.
I'll step
I'm gonna
into the
walk over
line.
and grab her and see if I can walk her out.
Okay. Well, Isaac's right at the front door. Like, he's standing, like,
Oh,
literally.
the window behind us. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Can we
So,
jump out the window? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
so his surface thoughts, Isaac's surface thoughts are basically, you're getting the feeling that he has been for a long time obsessed with Irina, but not in like a sexual kind of obsessed with a woman kind of way, so much as just there's been something that has been in his thoughts constantly, and he is almost stunned at seeing that this person actually exists.
Okay, I'm just to kind of test to see how he reacts to it. I'll take her hand and just kiss it, just like like comfortingly, you know, kind of like some very familiar gesture, and judge how he reacts.
The one word is rage.
Interesting.
Though barely contained rage. Baron Vargas is just like, well, that is all I can do at the moment. Please, go find yourself the best swords we have. A Meister like you should keep yourself well protected.
My thanks, and I appreciate the hospitality. We look forward to performing at the festival, and
Yes, square noon in 3 days. 2 days, actually. I don't have time.
well met.
Don't know the time. That's a better way of saying it. Please, do any roleplay you would like.
And
Lydia, please attend me. And Lady Lydia's like, ha 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 ha, yes, sir. And it is good to meet you, and I quite enjoyed your performance. Just so you know, I like roses.
Good to know. Good to know. Well, thank you.
Do you guys stop Baron Vargas as he leaves, or?
I do not.
No.
I will turn to Isaac and say, please.
Do the dogs go out after those two?
Yes.
I'm going to toss them both another scrap.
They eat it in like one bite because they're dogs, and they wag their tails as they leave. You think that they're actually quite fond of you.
That'll pay dividends later.
Mm-hmm.
Isaac speaks to the six of you, sort of staying as far as possible away from Paavu. Still,
I'll put my helm back on.
He flinches. I'm supposed to bring you all to the guard tower.
Indeed.
Please follow me.
Lay on. And I will
That's right.
whisper quietly to Irina that basically don't worry, lass. I'm keeping a close eye on that one.
She sort of nods and says, "Thank you. I don't know what to think right now."
We'll talk later when we have more time to talk in private.
Yes, thank you. Izek leads you guys out of the house and back onto the street, where the rain has started getting a little bit stronger. Puddles are becoming quite commonplace in this town. As Izek leads you guys up north to the center of town, you guys notice him sort of semi-consciously try and stand next to Irina.
I will. First of all, I will. I'm going to message Paavu and ask him to block the other side, and I will very consciously take her hand and stay on the other side.
I will just look over and nod and take up patrol on her opposite side, hand on sword.
Okay. Delvin and Revan, you guys both sort of notice he is glaring at Revan. Sort of neutral face when you're looking at him, but the moment that he thinks he's not being looked at, he is daggers into the back of your skull.
Well, I'm smiling at him charmingly at every opportunity.
I would like to try and observe as we walk through the town, the other town folks' reactions to Izek.
They are terrified of him. The moment he appears on the street, everyone goes into their houses, doors shut. The people who can't get into a house will sort of like stand onto this very side of the road and even like bow a little bit as he passes.
The demon arm that Izek has, is it always out?
Yes.
It's funny that you should mention that. I was just about to bring up that.
Yes. So basically, this demon arm, if you imagine he just has one really big arm that's tattooed, except that it also has claws.
Okay.
And spikes, right?
And spikes, yeah. It's,
is there anything... Sorry,
I was just going to say, it's very unpleasant.
Okay, there's nothing else that would seem, I don't know, descriptive to me?
No, nothing really strikes you as, like you don't recollect or recall anything about this kind of arm.
And do a religion check, maybe to see if it reminds me of anything demonic or devilish.
Yeah, absolutely.
You may do it, or you gonna do it?
You can do that.
Cool.
Yeah, roll me a religion.
Oh,
22.
hello.
So pretty damn good. Let me actually look.
I've had one of these arms before, so
The backstory thickens.
So what you're getting isn't necessarily a religious thing as much as it is something that is sort of semi-religious. You know of things that are godlike in power, though aren't actually deities. They're typically like known as vestiges.
yes.
And you're getting that kind of feel, like he's been given a power that is
Been given a gift, kind of an unholy gift, maybe, or
yes.
You purchased it.
It is definitely that kind of strange.
oh, I look at Zeros.
I look back and I give him a wink.
I nod.
I have to separate you two between the campfire.
Izek brings you to a sort of a not a jail, but like a sheriff's office kind of thing. Invites you guys in, and he walks to a sort of a large locker room full of swords, shields. Nothing is particularly good, like especially good quality. Nothing's masterwork or anything like that. But you can find basically any weapon and any armor in this room that you guys can just loot because Baron Vargas has said it so.
Okay, question. Studded leather? somewhere, perhaps?
Yes, there's a couple sets of studded leather.
Then I will take that. and
The
replace-
only thing to note about all of this stuff is it all has a very similar style to the guards of Vallaki.
Okay.
Like it's definitely Vallakian garb.
Sure.
Nobles wouldn't be caught dead wearing this.
Then never mind, I won't do it.
I mean, if you put like cloaks and stuff on over top of it, then maybe. But
I might take a set. I can have it repurposed.
okay. Is there any weapons or armor that anyone else would like?
That's a good question.
What's the highest level of medium armor that I would be able to find there?
Let me check the armor thing.
It's probably studded leather. Oh, medium leather or medium armor.
You wear chain. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, there
that's
would
like
be half
scale.
plate.
Oh,
Half plate's medium,
Half plate is medium. Yep.
I will take
But-
some half plate.
half plate only gives you +1 from Dex. Yeah.
Half plate is 15 plus Dex modifier max 2. All medium armor is max 2.
How about a shield? That should be pretty.
Yeah, there are shields. They all have the same sort of Vallakian signature on them.
That's fine.
I would like to cast Detect Magic.
I keep forgetting you're a paladin.
Would you forget I was a paladin? That's really unreasonable of you.
Yeah, nothing in this room is particularly magical or well kept.
What about the arm?
The arm is
What type?
sort of a mixture of evocation and evil subclass.
Can I get anything else?
From detect magic to faint aura, and you learned at the School of Magic. Not really much else.
Okay.
You might be able to get the same sort of feel that Delvin got. That this is a gift of some sort from not a god, but something strong.
Okay. I'm going to maintain concentration on that
Okay.
for the next 10 minutes.
While you guys update your sheets with loot, do you guys mind if we take 5?
not at
Sounds
all.
good.
Hey, I lived!
Yes,
You
you
did.
did.
I will be back in just a minute.
All right.
All right.
See you guys in a bit.
All right, and welcome back to looting the town,
As one does.
as one does. Some things that I forgot to mention. Revan, you cast Detect Thoughts on Izek, among others, and his thoughts were mostly like, Irina exists? Holy shit, I didn't know that. And you learn that he's been dreaming about Irina. And sort of as the spell ended, as you guys were leaving the house and he was sort of getting a chance to recollect his thoughts, he was thinking about kidnapping.
Oh, that
Your mic's not there.
perhaps changes things.
Just kidding.
Perhaps.
Not
We do have him alone in this building.
you, kidnapping's not exactly the right word, but more just like, how can I get her to come with me?
Absconding with.
I like that word.
And again, this is a weird sort of thought. Like, you've probably had your fair share of women in your time, Revan, but the thoughts that he seems to be having aren't necessarily of a sexy kind of way. Like, he seems to be more just obsessed with her as a person than as a woman.
Territorial.
Interesting. Okay. Unfortunately, all the spells that would be of use in this particular circumstance are not currently available to me, so...
Ivan, how did you get that arm?
The name is Izek.
Whatever your name is.
It's so far away.
The arm was bit off by a dire wolf. I got drunk. It grew back.
Insight check.
He doesn't seem to be lying
I
About
guess I
any
should
of
get
it?
drunk more often.
about any of it.
Wow.
I mean, you guys have seen dire wolves in this place, but the it grew back. He's just like, yep, that's exactly how it happened.
I assume you know that that's an unusual bit of behavior for an arm, right?
Are you calling me a liar?
I'm not calling you a liar. I think it's obviously the tangible evidence is right there. But have you thought about? I mean, do you have answers as to why? Have you sought answers as to why?
I got lucky.
Did you kill the dire wolf?
I'll be back. No, he doesn't say that. He's more just like, no, but one day I will.
I mean, have you thought to seek answers for, why it returned to you? I mean, things like this usually have a reason. I would be insatiably curious as to why if it were me.
Nope. It's big. It's strong. It can make fire. I deserve it.
I'm sure you do deserve it, but those sorts of gifts often come with a price, lad.
If you keep asking me about it, the price is gonna be your head.
I'll give him a little. I'll smile at him a little uncomfortably long.
I'll just step forward.
He flinches back a little bit from Paavu. He says, you've got your stuff. Now leave.
You do understand who you're talking to, lad, right? You do understand that you're talking a bit above your station.
I am the Lord Commander of the Guard.
That may be so, but I'm a nobleman. You will speak with respect, lad.
Make me some kind of check. I would say either persuasion or intimidation.
Yeah, I'll do persuasion.
It seems nicer.
Intimisuasion.
Intimisuasion.
That's pretty good. You guys all see like the fire in Revan's voice as he's saying this. And
by the way, that is a real emotion that Revan is establishing right now.
Izek sort of averts his eyes a little bit and just scowls doesn't say anything. Please leave.
You may go.
Yes, sir. And he storms off. After he's sort of gone down the streets, Irina sort of like.
I'm gonna chuck Reven on the arm.
She goes up
Well
to Reven and Corvus, because you two were the ones trying to like comfort her the most, and Delvin, and sort of steps to you guys and is like, "Oh, that was intense. I noticed you were doing some magic, Reven. Were you?"
So, what I can tell you is that he's been dreaming about you. I don't exactly know why. But it is not good for you to be alone with him, and it is not in our best interest to allow him to be around you. He doesn't have the best of intentions, and I don't know why yet.
I have some input here. As I was looking for the loo upstairs, there's a room with a pristine new wedding dress that looks. I'm gonna eye Irina and try and look about whether is she the right size.
No, it's definitely about Lady Lydia's size.
Okay. About the size of the Lady Lydia. Perhaps she's looking for a lady in waiting. But there's also a mystic mirror of some sort that I think we should absolutely be investigating.
What I can tell you is that his thoughts towards you aren't romantic, for whatever it's worth, Irina, but it is strange. He's obsessed with you for some reason I can't fathom.
I don't know either.
But
Can't you then?
I would say that I would not take it as at all unusual that it might have something to do with the influence he's under as a result of this gift he's been given for this hand. We already know that there is a Dark Lord in charge of this place, and if there was a direwolf involved, we've already seen the work of direwolves on our first encounters in this place, and I would not be at all surprised to learn that the Dark Lord here has some hand in this.
I would agree.
It does seem like there's some reflections of Strahd in Izek.
We should be cautious with him, and we should perhaps even take some proactive action where he's concerned, because I don't trust what he'll do.
I will follow you guys wherever you go. I don't know exactly what to suggest. I can't ask you to. Well, I don't know what you would do to him.
Murder him.
We'll make certain that you're safe. That's the most important thing in the midst of all of this.
She's sort of thinking, and she's like, the Baron didn't say anything. The Baron said that he thought we were all staying at the inn. I don't think they know that I was staying at the church.
Let's keep that a secret, and let's make certain that the priest there knows to keep it a secret as well.
And with the church being hallowed ground, perhaps he cannot enter it with the arm that he has. I believe he has an unholy pact, possibly with Strahd himself.
I'm going to step out into the street and see if I can still see Izek.
No, he has. You do see him. He's quite far down.
I'm going to cast Divine Sense.
Okay.
And there goes Rick.
And Rick is reconnecting.
He gone.
I'm gonna walk up to her and just say, if it would make you feel more comfortable, I can stay outside of your room in the church.
Well, and I would suggest that Delvin might be another good one to stay with her. I mean, it is in fact his province is to be there as well. The two of you, in fact, would seem most at place in such a place.
She kind of goes like, well, it's not exactly kind for a lady to have men waiting outside for her, but in this instance, I would definitely appreciate it. Thank you. We just need to convince Father Petrovic. And Paavu, your divine sense. It's as he gets sort of 60 feet away from you, as you get like the last couple seconds of the spell, the arm is fiendish.
But he is not.
He is not.
Okay.
He's just an a-hole.
Yeah. So does anyone see Rip?
I do not.
I
No.
see a black screen.
Yep.
No.
Yeah.
Black screen of death.
He was typing something earlier, but then he never sent it.
He says,
He said reconnecting.
Reconnecting.
Oh, Roll20. I mean, I can't blame Roll20. Any kind of internet game has this problem.
Yeah, when you have multiple people trying to connect in different regions and different internet speeds.
I remember when I tried to run a game and Discord got DDoSed.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
Jeez.
Ouch.
Well, shall we carry on while he reconnects?
Yes,
For show.
perhaps let's retire to somewhere where we can talk more in earnest about our next steps of action.
You guys went to the Burgomeister's mansion at, like, basically dawn. You gathered her up as soon as the sun came up, so it's still very early. Rip's back!
Yay!
There we go.
If I wave my hands too fast, it just
And
looks
he's
like a
frozen.
blur.
Oh,
I
wow.
don't
It
see
does. It looks like you're doing the flash thing.
Speaking of a blur, Zeros just disappeared again.
He's there and gone again.
You had too many frames.
Yeah, mine does it too. Yeah, it's like the flash.
Whoa!
I can't get the,
Eric takes it to the next level.
I can't
My
get
head
the
hurts
frame
if I
rate
do
working.
that.
Okay, so
Oh, whoa.
I guess maybe if they know we're staying at the inn, why don't we go
Whoa.
and find some other place to talk? Maybe even at the church.
Irina will. Yes, that might be a good place. Though I did speak to many people at the congregation last night. I don't know if it can be kept a secret that I'm staying at the church.
It still might be safest if his arm is in fact demonic, then he may not be able to enter.
Yes, of course. Let's go to the church. At the very least, we can rediscuss what we're going to do right now.
I need to do an age check on Peter right now.
Yeah, he's 5.
The funny thing is, I can't
Yes,
tell if
that.
maybe you're just doing this.
Look, there's a shiny toy. I see a shiny toy.
So as you guys head towards the church, the orphans in the orphanage across the street are starting to play in the backyard. They've got a little bit of not like a jungle gym, more like a bunch of crates that are stacked up into a pile that they can play on. You know, get the kids immune to tetanus early.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
You know,
we're going
It
back.
may be worth going to speak with this lady Fiona.
Fiona, remind me.
Oh, Fiona
Yeah.
Wachter.
She is
Oh.
the one who is planning the rebellion against the Burgomeister.
I think it would be worth a conversation.
I will grab someone in the street as we're walking and ask where her manor house is.
She sort of gasps and she's like, "It's the big red one up at the north of the Noble Quarter."
Bless you.
So it's
The noble quarter.
yes.
Red.
She explains sort of like the nobles all live up in this more northern part of town.
Very good. On your way.
She hustles is the best way to say it.
Oh,
Well,
Back at the church, you guys can discuss things, though Zeros, you might remember that is not easy for you. Who am I missing?
Delvin.
Delvin. Oh, right, Delvin.
I'd like, before we go
Delvin
in,
got
I'd like to
raptured.
pull Delvin aside and say,
Yeah.
There's some, what I believe to be saints' bones in the Undercroft that provide the blessing for this place.
Hmm.
This information may prove useful in a number of ways, but it may be worth an examination from you. Reven has the key,
Well,
and then I will sit with Zeros outside.
Okay.
I'm curious. Oh, and there goes Rick.
And there is Zeros.
Well, I was gonna sit with him outside, but apparently he's running laps around the building or something.
all right. So shall we go talk to the priest?
Okay.
Why are the children so creepy looking?
Well,
I mean,
They're part vampire.
Inbreeding.
Ah, yes, that's it. They're part inbred vampires.
so the priest is just tidying up, sweeping up between the pews.
Father, could we have a word with you if you don't mind?
Yes, of course, my child. What would it be that I could help you with?
I don't mean to seem untoward, but can I ask you a bit of a probing question?
rip.
I don't know exactly how to answer that, but please go ahead. I have no secret
So
from my congregates.
what we met with the Burgomeister and his ward. What do you think about this Izek, and what do you think about the provenance of his miraculous recovery, shall we say?
Ah, yes. Well, you may be able to guess. Izek does not ever come into this church. He finds religion to be distasteful, I believe. Before he was the ward of the Burgomeister, he was a fairly drunkish lout, though that's not a kind way of placing it. I don't remember if this is the voice that I was using the last time I spoke to you,
It's
but I
fine.
will hopefully use this voice in the future. So yeah, about Izek, he is quite forceful in his ways, but the Morning Lord does teach us to be strong when we can, and he has protected people, although he does enjoy his spite.
Out of character, Peter, did you let us know about the fiendish aura on the arm? I don't think you did.
But I did not.
Okay, all right.
I should have, but I did not.
Well, here's the rub, Father. We have reason to be concerned that he might be a bit obsessed with my good lady here. Let me give you a bit of background as to why we believe this to be so. First of all, he has commissioned dolls that look exactly like the good lady here to be made by, what is his name, Blinsky? And he was quite obsessed and even muttered under his breath something about taking her.
Oh dear.
And I'm concerned. So we would like, of course, the Lady Irina has been staying here, and we thank you, again for your hospitality in that regard. But if you wouldn't mind, just keep an eye towards anything that might involve Izek in particular, and any sort of untoward advances he might make in this place. If you could just keep your eyes open to anything where that's concerned. We have our suspicions about his intent. And to be perfectly honest, I'm not entirely certain that there isn't influence being employed by other forces, shall we say, in this matter.
That is a fairly strong accusation to make against a man, though if there's anyone in town who could be under the influence of the devil, it is surely Izek.
Well, the arm sort of is a.
It does give it away, doesn't it?
It is suspicious, and he doesn't even want to know the reasons why he has such a thing. That makes me suspicious.
Mm-hmm. I will do my utmost to make sure that he is kept, that Irina is kept safe. Of course, I cannot allow him to. I cannot bar him from our church, but I can make sure that Irina is kept.
Well, to that end, if it would be, if we could be so forward, and forgive me for even making the request, but if of course the good Sir Delvin here, who is a man of faith, if he could stay here with her as well, and maybe Corvus here, who is a disciple of knowledge as well, shall we say?
Well, I will. Unfortunately, I do not have any other accommodations for the two of you, but
There's no need. I can sleep on one of the benches here. One of the pews.
I will accept that in this circumstance. I just apologize. I cannot offer more.
No, it is kind of you to do as much as what you're doing, and I thank you for your reason and consideration in these matters.
Of course, of course. I hope you know that the Lady Lydia, the wife of the Burgomeister, is actually my sister.
No, I don't have any suspicion that the Lady Lydia is in any way involved in any of this. It is simply that I don't even know if it's his conscious thoughts that Izek is being manipulated in these matters. I get no sense that he himself is a bad man, just that he is perhaps being led astray by dark forces.
If you wish, I can speak to my sister and see if, find out any information I can from her, though anything I talk about with her will be passed on to the Burgomaster himself.
I think the inquiries themselves are perhaps fine if it doesn't sound like it comes from us. I think if, in the best interests of perhaps your shall we say, nephew.
Yes, what can you tell us of Victor?
Oh, Victor. Well, he is a eccentric young lad. He is prone to fits of anger and fits of he keeps to himself.
Has he ever come to the church?
No. He very rarely leaves his attic.
Why is that?
He just prefers his solitude, I believe. There was once a time where the Burgomaster tried to arrange a marriage with, I believe her name was Stella. Stella Wachter, the daughter of Lady Fiona Wachter. It was, I believe, an attempt to unite the two houses, but from what I hear, and I do not like to tell unproven rumors, but from what I hear, Stella was so shocked at the actions of Victor that she went insane.
Oh.
Unfortunately, I have not seen Stella in many, many years. She stays in Lady Fiona Wachter's estate. It's quite large, so she would be able to. I don't know whether or not she is insane. It's not strange for her to stay in the estate, but
when did this happen? How long ago was this?
I believe 2 or 3 years ago. His son is 19, I believe, this year.
Victor.
Victor is, yes. Do you guys want to take 5 and try and figure out connection issues? Because I'm noticing a lot of
I think we're all
Discord.
Rip and I don't have each other.
Oh, Rip and Paavu don't have each other. It's funny because you guys are sitting outside, both sitting outside the church,
Not talking.
not talking.
Yeah, we can take 5 if we need to.
Yeah, do you guys want to take 5 and then do like a full refresh?
Want everybody to refresh? Couldn't hurt.
Sure.
All right.
All right, browser closing. Be right
Alright.
back.
We're back, guys. I think
Who is it? It's Riff, isn't it?
What?
It's you rotating.
No.
Oh,
The
rotating. I thought you meant
rotating?
the order of. No, actually, I guess the
No,
player
everyone's
order is
standing on their
exactly
heads
the
now.
same.
I remember
We're all
the
taking
first
it
game,
down.
Zeros learned that he could rotate his character upside down.
Okay, so
So yeah, do you want to go back online?
we're online.
Oh, we're live?
Yep, we're live
Like right now,
Alright.
right now.
right now.
Welcome back to Church Times with everyone except Paavu and Zeros. So the Father Petrovic does say, like, if you wish, I will talk to my sister, Lady Lydia. You guys have directions to Lady Wachter's house. And Irina reminds you guys that she found yesterday the location of possibly the tower on the lake, the Wizard's Tower that Madame Eva mentioned.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's go to Lady Wachter's place, and then we can go perhaps check out this tower.
I'd like to ask before we leave, though. Well, do you want us to stay with? I'll ask you rather than. Do you want us to stay with Irina for now, or just tonight? I think she'll be okay until
Well,
the.
no, I suspect that she wants to go with us for all of this. Do you not, Lass? I mean,
She nods.
Yeah.
It would be.
so.
Well, I would like to ask the father real quick how his church is protected the way it is. Does he know why or how?
He does say, like, he says, the. Give me a moment to figure this out.
Roll an insight. No.
He looks up and to the left.
He does say, essentially, the Church of St. Andrel is protected by St. Andrel herself. She had done some magic in her day as a powerful saint. I believe it is just her presence here as a holy symbol is keeping us safe.
Is she perhaps buried here, or her bones here?
That is something we keep guarded, though in this instance I imagine you would be pleased to know that yes, her bones do reside in our undercroft, and it's possibly keeping this place hallowed.
Very good. Keep them well protected.
Keep them under lock and key as best I can.
I would change the lock. Just saying.
Yes, of course. In fact, no one but, well, all of you, perhaps I should change the lock. No one else knows of this, other than myself.
I understand, and I would advise to keep,
Damn good characters.
keep them hidden, keep it hidden, keep it safe.
I will do my best to keep it under wraps. Yes.
Why?
From here, what would you guys like to do? Go back out to the church? Or to the
Go to the
Lady Walkers?
Yes, Lady Wachter.
Okay.
We've already met one crazy person today. Why not meet another?
All the crazy peoples.
Town
What time is it?
crazy.
So it's still pretty early. It's like 9 in the morning.
Okay.
Wow.
Stop it. Who is it? Who is it?
That is.
Who had their mouse on the? It was Peter, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's silent
You're just
acknowledgement.
rotating my tokens. So you guys leave the church and head down the road. I forget if I
Did I?
did this.
Was my
sort of-
detect magic still up while we were at the church?
No, it would have been. I think detect magic is
10
only a
minutes.
minute. 10 minutes? Walking across town probably took less than that, I'd say. So you could detect that in the church, and even if you use divine sense, there is an aura of magic around the whole church, and your divine sense would tell you that it is hallowed.
Okay. But no distinct magical items?
No, nothing on his person or anything like that.
Okay.
I forget if I did this sort of mini event, but did you guys see the? It looked like almost a coffin maker had brought a child-sized coffin to the.
When we went to visit the clothier, yes, we saw him.
He was talking with the Baroness, but he was not bringing a coffin at the time.
So essentially, at the orphanage, you guys see as you exit, this coffin maker is sort of very solemnly giving a coffin to this orphanage keeper. And it is a child-sized coffin. That's about it. As he walks away, he sort of keeps his head down, puts his cloak up to protect himself from the rain.
Something in the universe is telling me we should investigate that orphanage.
Might not be a bad idea.
I assume you guys are thinking about it as you walk to Wachter House. By the way, Lady Wachter's house is called Wachterhaus.
So we walked to Wachter House.
You walk to Wachter House.
Rather go to Bear House.
We walk to her house.
Walk.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yes, everyone's very clever. I'm proud of you all. So you get to this house. It is. Let me load up. Oh, roll 20. Why are you chugging so much?
Just thirsty.
This house seems disgusted with itself. A slouching roof hangs heavy over furrowed gables, and moss-covered walls sag and bulge under the weight of the vegetation. As you study the house's sullen countenance, you hear the edifice actually groan. Only then do you realize to the extent that which the house hates what it has become.
That's unusual.
Yeah.
Does it give off the same kind of feel as that the first manor that we went into, or no?
Not really, no. It doesn't have that sort of aura of malice
Okay.
about it. It just seems like the house has terminal depression.
It's wearing a black turtleneck.
The Eeyore house.
Emo house.
Going to poetry reading and snapping.
So at the front of the house, there is a sort of a set of gardens, and you see that the front door is at the end of a rather long dirt walkway.
How does the gardens look? Is it alive, or is it all dead, or what?
They're alive. There's, very sickly looking potatoes and carrots. Everything looks kind of crappy. Not
Is that
well.
the technical term?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's not organic.
Well, I mean, honestly, if they're using fertilizer, wouldn't it look pretty crappy?
So you guys want to head to the front door?
Yes, heading to the front door.
I will look to Riven and ask him, are we going to do the head of the guard routine again then?
Aye, sounds reasonable.
Very good. I will approach the front door and with a closed fist, bong, bong, bong.
Before you get to the door actually opens. And a man steps out. This is a man dressed in very sort of white clothes and robes. It looks like it's been bleached recently, but his face looks much more rough and unshaven. It looks like someone just gave a homeless guy some really nice linens. And he sort of steps out and he sort of looks at you guys and is like, "Oh, you must be the visitors. I was sent to come find you."
Our reputation precedes us, I see.
Sent by who?
It does. What is he gonna call her? Like, my master, Lady Fiona Wachter, is interested in meeting with you.
Well, you can go in and announce Lord Reven Antalas has come to call.
Well, unfortunately, Lady Fiona Wachter is she is undisposed right now.
Well, how did she summon us?
Well, I was hoping to send you an invitation to dine with her tonight.
Oh,
And she will be redisposed by this evening.
Yes, of course. She is out of the house at the moment, but please come back at sundown, and we will be able to give you a good taste of Valaki.
What is your position in the house?
that does not sound good.
I am her. Well, I don't know exactly the correct term, but her handmaiden.
I look at his hands.
They're very dirty. They're very looks like yeah, dirt under the nails, rough and yeah.
I'm going to do insight, see what he appears to be hiding.
Why is your insight so good? You, both you and Corvus, know people, and Paavu actually gets this one too. He is definitely shady. You get
I'm
the
gonna snatch.
feeling- You're gonna do what? Sorry.
I'm gonna snatch his hand.
He's sort of shocked and like shows you his hand. It's dirty and you're getting the feeling that he is like he's not lying to you about being someone who works for Lady Fiona, but what his job is seems to be more a he does the dirty work.
Mm-hmm.
Does he resist? Does he resist when I grab his hand?
Not exceptionally forcefully. Like he pulls a little bit, but if you're giving him a tight grip, he's not going to rip it out of your hand.
I'm gonna hold the hand up in front of his face and say, "You seem to have awfully dirty hands for a handmaiden. I will ask you again. What do you do for the lady?"
I do her busy. I do her busy work. Butler. Butler is the right word. Butler. Like a handmaiden, but a dude.
I will scoff in disgust and look back towards Riven and say, "My lord."
I was merely working in the garden this morning. That's
My
not his
lord,
point.
what are your wishes?
We can return this evening.
I will inform the lady of your acceptance. I will make sure that we have the best possible food for our dining tonight. Dining pleasure.
While this was going on, could I have like snuck around the corner and followed the path a little further?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Irina
Kind of,
is
like,
a little
checking
nervous
it
as well. So she's gonna follow you. In the back, you see that there is a sort of a grassy field more than anything, and you see the wall of the town about like 100 feet away. There is one little,
Bless you.
what's it called? A cellar door. Slanted cellar door in the with an iron pull ring and iron hinges standing against the foundation of the house.
Mm.
You also see that this window here, inside seems to be a kitchen, and you see a couple like chefs busying themselves inside.
She can't hear you. She's sneezing.
Sorry. No, I can hear you. I was trying not to blow out the microphone.
Sorry. So what you see is a cellar entrance, and also a kitchen full of chefs.
Okay.
Do you want to go like all the way around, or?
Yeah. I mean, if nobody's stopping me.
Yeah. Maybe make me a stealth check to get away without Ernst noticing.
I mean, I do have him by the wrist with his hand in his face.
I'll give you advantage on it for sure.
Okay. Sorry, I was really naughty and I didn't pull my thing up when I started. Sorry,
For
guys.
shame.
I know
So you
somebody
can
else that didn't have theirs.
you can hold shift and double click
Oh,
your token, and we'll
nice.
open up your character sheet.
Sweet.
So easily, Corvus, you sort of use Paavu's as a distraction, and you can go all the way around to the back of this house where you can see there is a small servant's entrance in the back.
Okay.
Otherwise, there's not really much to see. It's a 2-story house, and you think that there's a basement, obviously there's a cellar door.
You're getting
When I walk back around, is there a lock on the cellar entrance? Can I notice that? Do I like perception or?
Bye, Mick.
He gone.
Wobble, wobble, wobble.
Well,
Oh, he's getting really choppy.
Yeah, I thought so.
His
Oh.
Chrome crashed.
He's gone. Let's run inside.
yeah, right.
Everything.
Suddenly things appear on our character sheet. I don't know how they got there.
That crown.
I just found this somewhere. I don't remember where.
Somehow knowingly know who these figures are.
I see slivers of them. I want to know who they are.
Oh,
I think it's funny that he picked up the Lancelot as
Do that.
the
And that's why I won't tell you again. And I throw the torch into the house.
Sorry about that. Chrome entirely crashed.
ooh, wow.
What was going on? So Chrome,
There's
you
not
went
even a
around the
torch
back of
in
the
the
house.
house. I just said that.
I mean, I wouldn't even be surprised.
He hasn't burned down his quota of houses today. He has to do at least 3 a day.
Of
I
course.
mean, you know
It's-
this.
It's how he appeases his god, which
It
is
is.
Exactly.
himself. Corvus, you said that you checked to see if it was locked, and you think it is not. It is unlocked.
I like where this is going right now.
I'd love. Somehow our monk has become roguish as
I'm just
well.
being observant. I'm not
Remember
doing
what happened to
on
Paavu
background.
Yeah, but there's no demon armed dude in this house.
that we know of.
Okay, fair,
Could be
fair.
demons in the house. you
All I
don't
can
know.
say is mission complete. Okay, maybe not. Mission complete was when I get Delvin to start doing this.
So Ernst sort of takes his hand back away from you,
Nah,
and is like,
I don't give it away.
"Please, unhand me, sir. I was merely working in the gardens this morning."
I'm gonna growl at him and look back over my shoulder at Riven again.
He still seems to be keeping something from you guys, a little bit. Though Riven, you don't notice this.
Okay,
He seems like he's telling the truth to you.
we can return this evening. We'll have further discussions with the lady of the manor.
I'll turn back and I'm gonna lean in, and pitch my voice for only him to hear, and say, "You understand? I could tear this arm off and beat you to death with it, don't you?"
Yes, I understand that, my lord.
What you do for the lady?
I am her servant, and that is all
I'm
I
gonna
can
squeeze
say.
his wrist.
I don't know what you think I do, but I merely do what the lady requires of me. And as he's saying this, that is when you guys sort of get this sense that he's not lying. He's just kind of,
Obfuscating.
yeah.
He's evil.
He does the dirty work, and he's not going to say that out loud, but like the way he's saying this is like, yeah, he just does the dirty work. Is anyone getting an echo?
No,
I don't know what that is.
I'm not
Ah.
getting any.
Is.
So who said he's not getting any?
I'm not getting any echo.
That it could be from you.
You're bad and you should feel
You
bad.
should be
But
able to tell from with the voice indicator at the bottom.
Yeah, that's what I thought too, but I'm not seeing anyone move when I talk, and I can definitely hear an echo I'm gonna keep talking and just keep talking my voice to see if I can
Yeah.
get that right thing to go. And I'm just talking.
No,
I think
I
it's
couldn't hear it then. I think when you covered up your mic, I couldn't hear it.
Maybe your microphone. Yeah, I can't hear it either.
it's gone.
Yeah.
Ta-da!
It was a blip. It was a blip, darling. Don't worry.
I don't know why
I'm
it
going to
would be.
give his wrist one last hard squeeze and then let go.
All right. He sort of rubs his arm and he's like glares at you as he heads back inside the house.
Right as he starts to head back into the house, I'm going to cast thaumaturgy and cough really loud, like 3 times as loud. Trying to alert Corvus.
The windows sort of shake a little bit. Corvus, you hear a terrifying loud cough in the front door. It sounds
Run
like
around the
Delvin.
corner and say, "You guys hear that?"
Yeah, Ernst closes the front door rather expeditiously and leaves you guys at the front gate.
You've got some Ernst on you.
Oh boy.
I
Well.
don't know what that means.
It's a, it's a Lost reference.
From Lost.
Oh, okay.
Well,
I suggest not eating anything from the dinner tonight.
He
We should-
is the hitter.
we should at least be wary of circumstances. Just because the Burgomeister might not be the most savory of characters doesn't mean that the enemy of that person is necessarily our friend.
Irina's going to walk over to you, Reven, and sort of try and take you aside to talk to you.
Okay. Do so.
She sort of goes, I've noticed that your friends have a very firm fist.
It's not my way, but
It concerns me a bit.
let's talk a bit about this later. I can perhaps give a little bit of perspective.
Yes, of course. I know you have all come from a very difficult position. Perhaps I am just being too judgmental.
I think I can provide some context for you.
That man Ernst seemed like he was just a fine man. You know, not many people have clean nails in Barovia.
Well, we can at the very least ask Paavu about his perspective on it. I think he had his reason for it.
She sort of nods, but she doesn't make any indications that she actually wants to talk to Paavu.
It's fine.
I did burn her effigy dolls.
True.
I'm just saying.
Alright, so, heading back to the group, do we want to go looking for this tower then, and at least have a look at it?
Did they tell us roughly where it was at?
Yes, she
relation to the
knows. She knows that it's about a 2-hour walk.
Oh yeah, because it's not even noon, right?
Yeah,
I'm-
that's right.
I'm feeling fairly spent.
Oh,
I don't relish a trip through the wilderness this afternoon.
Not even lunchtime yet.
How long is a long rest?
8 hours,
Yeah, so that
and
would
it can only
kinda-
be taken once every 24 hours.
that would pretty much do us in.
I would like to go back to the inn for the day and wait for this dinner.
It'll be several hours.
I produce the deck of cards and say we may find something to do with our time.
So,
Uh,
At-
Zeros.
at least as we're walking,
Zeros is back.
Ah,
so was there a bad vibe that you got off the Dwarven, Paavu?
that man was lying. I
I
believe he is the fixer for the lady. He's the one who goes and slits the throats when they need slitting.
I think he had ill intent, correct?
Indeed.
Interesting. If she's the sort that could employ such an individual, then we should be wary, certainly. I also have my suspicions, the timing of it. I mean, it could be entirely coincidental, but let's be wary a bit about individuals who aren't available during the day, given the circumstances.
This is true.
She must have spies in town as well, or she would not have known to send her man out just then. She must know we spoke with the Burgomeister this morning.
It's entirely possible. We should at least be wary.
I'm going to take, as we walk back from town, I'm going to grab something out of the bag of holding from Riven, and I'm going to strap the greatsword onto my back.
Okay.
By the way,
doesn't-
I'll clap my hand on Paavu's shoulder. By the way, I'm proud of you for your restraint in the situation with the Burgomeisters.
It seemed like the proper time for restraint. I'm aware of the concept.
It was good of you.
I feel like I need to make a deception check.
No, I think he's aware of the concept. He just does not agree
You're
with it.
not wrong.
I've
so-
heard of this thing.
It doesn't take you guys very long to get back to the inn. Again, this inn is covered with ravens, sort of dancing around or flapping around and sort of staring at you guys.
Is there no one else in the tavern when we arrive?
There's a couple people, just a couple commoners sitting at the tables, but otherwise it's empty compared to at night.
Okay, the card-playing brothers are not present.
They're not, unfortunately.
Bummer. I will go up to the table and inquire about lunch for us.
Erwin and Danica are like, yes, of course. We've got stew,
Wolf steaks.
wolf steaks. Absolutely, sir. What are their voices? I can't keep giving everybody the same voices. Danica's just like, yes, of course. I will get those right away. She goes into the kitchen and starts busying herself. Erwin sits down, sort of leans on the counter and says, just so you guys know, as of tonight, we're going to be out of wine. The winery has not been giving us our shipments, and, well, I don't know exactly how to get them to.
How much would you like for your final cask of wine?
Well, I could go off for a couple gold, I'd say.
Done. I
How
will
far is the
Put
winery?
two gold onto the countertop for him, and
Okay.
get Riven to help me shimmy a cask of wine into the bag of colding.
Yeah, so he gets you a cask of wine from the back and tells Corvus it's about a 3 or 4 hour march west of here.
Do we have a map? Does anybody have an actual, like, physically drawn copy of a map?
Yeah, because didn't the hag draw us one?
Yes. So you can actually see the winery on the map. There's a little grape drawn next to it.
Wow, that is a far walk.
And then the tower is that building with, it looks like it has a church steeple with a holy symbol up at the top.
Yes.
Okay.
The one sort of on a lake,
Right.
with the dots sort of
Okay.
road.
Yeah.
We may be able to tomorrow go and look at the tower and the winery, but I'm also eager to return to the windmill.
I'm agreeable to that.
We have time today.
What's your reluctance to go today, Paavu?
I'm feeling somewhat spent today. I have exerted most of my magical influence for the day, but I will acquiesce if the rest of you wish to go.
It would be nightfall by the time we reach there.
Not the Mage Tower,
Oh, okay.
because that's only a few hours away.
I
Well, the wine.
anticipate sturdy resistance at the Mage Tower. It was one of the tarot cards that should give it some advantage or magical power.
Well, we can certainly go and visit the lady Fiona this evening, and perhaps set out in the morning. Then, if that's agreeable.
Irina will
Well-
agree to that.
Well, Paavu, you did mention the orphanage. Perhaps we can check that out.
Mm. Yes. Let's eat our tasty wolves and carry on.
Yeah.
I will. So I'll pull the Lady Irina aside, pick a table kind of off to the side, and kind of indicate to her that I'll fill her in on further details.
Okay. About which? Sorry.
The discussion we had earlier.
Oh, about Paavu and the group. Okay, she'll listen and sort of say like, it must have been hard for him as a prisoner of the Drow, but
So you heard?
I don't know.
You heard about that?
Yes, you told us about this in
I
Barovia.
had forgotten that. Aye. So that tells most of the story, then, doesn't it? We've been through a lot, and we're going through a lot now. You can understand that this is all a bit alien to us,
Yes, of course.
and having been in the thrall of the Drow for quite some time, it's difficult to trust. And Paavu in particular was treated very cruelly, whereas I was well, my services were a bit different than Paavu's. Paavu was treated like a beast of burden, and as such, you can understand how he might react a bit violently when he thinks something threatens him. So don't take it amiss. He's readjusting. It's not exactly. Imagine if you whipped a dog daily, how it might react when somebody treats it with kindness. It might be suspicious, and I think
Well,
that's
he is a rather large dog.
he is indeed. But don't take it amiss. It's
Yeah, she'll think for a bit and sort of say like, okay, I will give him some more chances, though. As long as you feel like we are safe with him. I must admit, I'm a bit nervous of my own safety. What with Strahd and Izek.
I can have a discussion with him, but I can promise you this: Paavu will not harm you.
I hope I can believe that.
Well, do you trust me?
I do.
I'll have words with Paavu, and I'll make certain that there's a firm understanding on this count.
She gives you kind of a shrewd smile and says, "Thank you, Lord Reven."
I hope you don't take those stories amiss. You have to understand I'm a bard. And as such, I'm used to telling stories, but I'm being honest with you right now, and it's a rare thing sometimes for a bard to do this, but I'm doing this in your best interests.
She thanks you and she understands. I thank you and I understand.
And I hope you don't think that everything I have to say is a lie. It's not.
No, of course. I understand that there is times for deception and times for truthfulness, and I believe you right now.
It's just that I don't entirely trust everything and everybody that we have to deal with currently. And
Of course.
as such,
And
it's often in our best interest to be a little bit guarded and leave them guessing as to our intent and as to our station.
I know that in my case, I have been bitten by the vampire Strahd, and I understand how people view me. The people in the village of Barovia no longer trusted me once they found out. I understand that it might be hard for you to trust me as well, but I hope one day I can prove myself to you.
I do trust you. If I didn't trust you, I wouldn't have come with you this far.
I thank you. Now, let us join the rest of the party before we have to roleplay something that the DM would be very uncomfortable with.
I was just getting good.
All right. So head back to the party.
All right. So, Corvus, Zeros, Elphaba, what are you guys doing at the inn right now?
I'm eating my wolf.
Okay.
Yum.
Nom, nom.
Elphaba's just sort of like, oh my god, what am I doing here?
Pretty much.
I'm royalty, you assholes. Don't you know?
Yeah, Zeros, are you enjoying steak? Oh, no, you're not. I'm sorry.
I can still enjoy it by snorting it, okay? I
Okay.
figured this out. I am not going to do that, though.
Zeros, the inventor of the blender. The inventor of the milkshake.
Zeros is confused about how he got here and doesn't know what happened in the last 10 minutes and is just going along with what Elphaba is doing.
Right. So, quick recap. You guys went to the Wachter house. You spoke to Ernst Larnack, who is Lady Wachter's. You guys have sort of determined that he is the guy who does the dirty work. What do you call him? The cleanup guy? The fixer.
Fixer.
Right. And he said, come back for dinner tonight. That's basically it. And then Revan and Irina had a very personable and intimate chat.
I missed that. Good.
Revan
Okay.
being uncharacteristically earnest.
This is true.
Okay. So still no fight?
Yeah, you guys have gone back to the inn. Paavu
Give it
has
time. Give it time.
Okay.
Paavu is being uncharacteristically cautious with his magic power and has decided that it's best for us to take a nap. Or take the
Damn
nap.
it, Paavu.
I said I would defer. If everybody
Okay.
wants to go party, I'm down to party.
Can I actually meditate and try and talk to my pact god and see if he or she would know anything about the demon arm?
Yes. Make me an Arcana check.
Oh god.
The universal symbol for I don't think I have proficiency in that skill.
So
Wow.
you get some images in your mind that you cannot make sense of, but the images that make the most sense essentially just break down to come find us or come find me. All will be
Jeez,
explained then.
I get it. Okay. All right.
Also, there's an egg.
Don't know why, but
An egg? Oh, yeah, the
An
images.
egg. An egg. There's an egg.
Okay. All right.
So yeah, you guys can absolutely relax at the bar until sundown. It gets a bit more public as the day goes on. People start getting off their work shifts as farmers, which doesn't really happen because you don't really stop working. But people eventually start coming in. Danica and Erwin unfortunately have to turn down a lot of people for wine, and most people are just kind of morose about it. Like, they're not really upset, but they're not happy about it. After about 2 hours, Rictavio comes back downstairs from his room upstairs and spots you guys and, my friends, what adventures have you been up to today, may I ask?
Has the rest of the group shared the saber-tooth tiger story with us?
Yes.
Yes.
I would like to approach him and I'm gonna snatch a glass off the bar on my way, and pour him a glass of wine out of the cask that I'm carrying.
This is quite chilled. I like this.
Excellent. My friends tell me you have a beast in your keeping.
I do.
I'm curious if there are any circumstances under which you might part with it.
Oh, I could not part with my tiger. After all, it is not exactly allowed inside this town.
Oh, I understand that, of course, but under what circumstances would you be parted with it?
That tiger and I have been on many, many adventures before this. I would be amiss to selling her.
Everything has a price. Think on it.
I will do some soul searching. It's I don't wish to speak. I don't wish to seem irrational or unreasonable, but she is important to me, almost as important as my horse Drusilla.
Oh, Drusilla.
Very well. Well, let me give you another glass of wine as you think on this over the coming days.
Corvus, you can tell that Rictavio is drinking this wine, but he is sort of looking at it in a way that he's like, "Is this poison? I hope this isn't poison."
I grab the glass out of his hand and just take a sip and then hand it back.
It's not poison. Well, actually, Paavu, is it poison?
I do have some poison. The wine is not poisoned.
Okay, good.
I was just trying to show
Yeah,
him.
poison.
Yeah, Rictavio's just. Unfortunately, I need her for my protection in my travels. Yeah. Do you guys want to do anything else before heading back to the Wachter house?
How much time have we got before the invitation?
It's just before noon when you guys got here, so about 6 hours.
Okay, so not quite 8. Well, but
Right.
we couldn't do it anyway because of the
24-hour rule.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Anybody around to gamble?
Yeah, there are a number of people who come up, who sort of sit down and they're...
I will also be trying to spend some time trying to find somebody who's willing to gamble for stakes.
like wolf steaks or
Money, real money,
Money.
not coppers.
Heart states for all the vampires.
Nom 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 nom.
There you go.
yeah, do you guys mind if we take a quick 5?
Yes, please.
All right, I will be back in like 3 or 4 or 5 minutes.
Yay!
Right,
That was very precise there.
one of those times, but exactly at those times. Okay, be right back.
Anywhere between 1 and 5.
5.
All right. So you guys are relaxing in the inn. Paavu is looking for people to gamble with. Most people are just commoners as they sort of walk in and out. But one person steps in who is much finer dressed than everyone else. He steps up to the bar, sort of looks at you guys, gives you a gentle smile, and inquires, Danica, would you happen to have any wine left? It's like, sorry, Vasily, I'm all out.
Am I frozen? Did you put an icon out for him?
I did not.
Okay, perfect. I will take that as my cue, and I will walk over to him and say, Vasily, was it?
Yes, good to meet you. My name is Vasily von Holtz.
I like your coat, Vasily. Join my table. We have a glass of wine for you, and perhaps you will join a game of cards.
Oh, yes, of course. I would love to be with the fine folk around here. And as he says that, you can tell that there is like a dripping of slight distaste at everyone. Though he is comfortable as Revan. Are you sitting with Paavu or nearby?
I'm leading him back to that table.
Okay. So the table that you guys are sitting at, he comes up as well, but seems more comfortable seeing you well dressed and seeing Irina, who's also holding herself a bit more noble-like.
I will lean down to Riven as I rejoin the table and say, "What is? Are you a baron or a duke?"
Duke.
Duke, right? Vasily, this is Duke Riven von Talas. I'm the head of his household guard. Please join us.
Of course, of course. You strike me, well, by the fact that you are some of your half-elves. And as he looks over at Elphaba, he sort of notices that Elphaba is probably holding herself also like a noble.
Of course.
Gives you a nod and a smile. Perhaps a bit checking down at the goods, so to speak. Kind of, my breasts are up here, please. So he'll sit down. I don't have a token for him, so I'm gonna put this commoner with the nice mustache.
It's a fine mustache.
He'll sort of sit down next to you guys, between like Revan and Irina, and say,
I'm definitely going to get him to try and engage in a game of cards as we begin the conversation.
Yes, he'll absolutely start playing cards.
I will put 5 gold out as the stakes.
Without even thinking it, he shuffles in, puts 5 gold out.
Very good. Shall we play for more then?
Oh, I wasn't even thinking of... I believe I could put an extra 10 gold for an ante.
Perfect.
I don't know what an ante is. I don't... I'm sorry.
It's-
It's close enough. Right.
I will use the shuffle deck.
Okay. Get maybe do a game play with... Or, a game proficiency check.
Does that what's the mechanical benefit there? Advantage on card
I'd say
games,
advantage,
or
yeah.
Okay.
And
Well, damn, those are 2 really good rolls.
those are really good. And you can tell that Vasily knows almost what you're thinking as he's playing. Seems to know exactly when you're bluffing. Though it seems like he's actually just really good at insight, but not as good as you are, and you end up fleecing him for everything he's worth.
Perfect.
Which on his person only accounts to 50 gold.
Okay.
Still pretty good.
Which is probably the most expensive person you have met in Barovia. So while this is happening, what would you like to ask Vasily, if anything?
I'm just playing cards. I'm letting
I
him do the
will-
talking, but I will ply him with wine as we play.
So, Vasily, what do you do here in Vallaki?
I am, I guess you would call me the insurance company of town.
Oh, indeed. Interesting.
I am the founder of the Von Holtz business holdings, and I hold much of the money in Vallaki. Perhaps if you were going out on a adventure, as you visitors often do, I could interest you in my services. But let us not discuss such things during a fun game of cards.
What's the most interesting thing you've had to insure?
I would say I am totally blanking right now. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Shipment of antique shotguns.
Yes. I believe the most interesting thing was a cow that had the most glorious of udders. It was 7 udders.
Utterly
Interesting.
shocking.
It was quite distasteful. I am very glad that cow died and I could not have to deal with that farmer again.
Did someone make an utter joke? I give 10 gold to Delvin, Corvus, Elphaba, and Zeros.
Okay. I think Corvus is not here.
Well,
Thank you.
I'll give it to her anyway.
So, what are your thoughts of the upcoming festival, Vasily?
Well, of course, it's uncouth in town to ever to say anything against the festivals, so I shall not say anything at all.
Oh, you can say whatever's on your mind. We're not from here, so it wouldn't matter one way or the other to us.
Well, they tend to be rather dull affairs. The Burgomeister comes and he rants about the safety of town and all will be well, all will be well. It's quite tedious, really.
We met the Burgomeister earlier today.
My
his-
condolences.
His ward is a bit strange too, don't you think?
Izek, yes, he is an interesting one to say the least. I have had to insure a number of businesses against him.
Is that good for business or bad?
It gives it a little extra incentive for people.
I can understand that. I can respect that.
But, of course, business is not an interesting topic. What would be interesting is learning more about you. And as he's talking, he's sort of looking over at Irina. Again, sort of with a more lecherous look in his eye.
What is it with this chick? She got beer-flavored nipples or something?
It's my favorite.
Did you say beer-flavored nipples?
Oh, come on.
I've never
Come
heard
on.
that.
You gotta know that movie reference.
I've never heard that. I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
It's 10
Sorry.
things I hate about you.
Do you recognize beer-flavored nipples?
So you got to give him the whole
No.
line. Give him the whole line.
Oh, line, yeah.
I love it. It's just an
Don't worry about it.
side
Don't.
comment. With no context. It's beautiful.
I forget that I'm wearing headphones sometimes. I love you. So yeah, Vasily is an interesting conversant, even though I'm not being very interesting as I converse with you guys. But he does end up saying like, "Oh, you obviously are new in town. Perhaps I could show you around sometime and meet more of you in more close detail. I might be a powerful friend for you to have."
We would be very much honored to learn more about the town.
Yes, of course. This town has a rich history, but I can tell you the more interesting parts of it.
Well, perhaps-
Besides, I realize that adventurers such as yourselves often get into the kind of trouble that is, how I say, good for business.
Understood. Yes.
If only I had insured that shop.
The shop.
Which shop?
Oh, nothing, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you can.
Whose
tell.
shop's burned down then?
Oh, I just heard that there was a robbery in the town near over the village of Barovia. Words got out that some hooligans really stole a bunch of merchandise, including
What?
a magical bag that keeps things cold. This is such delicious wine, by the way.
Why would you wish to insure a place that was robbed? That seems like a poor business move, doesn't it?
I am a philanthropist, really.
Therapist.
You are a
Yes.
philanderer, yes, of course.
Philanderist.
Well, if charity is your game, I'll keep that in mind.
Perhaps I will see you all later, but for now, I imagine you have much more interesting things to deal with.
Well, it's been a pleasure.
Not for another 4 hours.
It was good to share some wine with you. May our paths cross again tomorrow.
Indeed. Day to you.
He stands up and bows to everyone, but in particular bows to Irina. And Irina and Elphaba.
Alphaba gives him a little wink back.
And roll 20 is giving me a big error. Give me a sec. Okay, it worked. It's good. We're good.
Very good. Are we where are we at in time wise?
So you guys can definitely say that you're going to spend the rest of the day here, and then head to Wachter House for night.
That sounds like a plan.
Oh, I thought we were gonna go check out the children
Orphanage.
Orphanage.
Yeah.
Oh, we
Orphanage.
can do that.
because
The
it's in
orphans.
town.
Unless we're gonna have to fight waves of like
Children.
evil children.
Undead babies.
Men children.
Is there any other kind?
Well,
I mean, because that could totally be a thing. I'm just saying.
So you can definitely head to the orphanage. The orphanage itself is run by a single woman. It seems like her name is Claudia Belasco, and I'm trying to find her picture.
Lady who lives in a shoe.
aw.
So she is sort of chasing some kids around the yard, like calling out to them, like, "Hey, please stop running, stop teasing." Oh, hello. Who might you be?
Greetings. Yes, we're actually new to town. We've been by the orphanage a few times and just thought we would stop by and pay our respects.
What respects would you have to pay to an orphanage?
Well, for one thing, we couldn't help but notice that there appears to have been a bit of misfortune, and we are deeply sorry for whatever loss you might have suffered. And I understand these are hard times, but the loss of a child in particular is a hard burden to bear, and we wish to stop by and offer our respects.
Yes, it was quite the accident. Some of our children were playing rough, and ended up falling out of the window.
Oh dear.
Yes, poor Cedric. But be that as it may, that is not for me to discuss with people off the street.
No. Hardly off the street in particular, but yes, I understand. You don't know us, and I understand. But how long has the orphanage been around? Has it been around for long?
Yes, this was created about 70 years ago, I believe. I've only just inherited it myself. The woman who was running it before has mysteriously vanished. That's a lie. She died because she was 90.
Do you have many children here? It seemed that there were quite a few playing earlier.
Yes, I believe there was somewhat but 30 at my last count.
Oh goodness, is that a large number? It seems like a large number.
It is, I mean, it is smaller than 40, but it's larger than 20.
She can do math.
Who is the benefactor of the orphanage?
The church itself. We do our best with donations. The Burgomeister has helped us from time to time.
I will give her. Here's a donation. I will give her 5 gold pieces.
Thank you very much. You
Good characters,
Yeah.
just the fucking worst.
seem to be a man of the cloth by the holy symbols you have upon you. That is good to know. Thank you very much, brother.
It's my pleasure. Be well.
All will be well.
Did not say that. Did not say that.
Corvus, you're the one who notices that a lot of the children here seem to be sort of a little more sickly looking than all the other children in town, and you're noticing many of them have strange bruises on them.
Like,
And by strange, I don't mean like strange like Miss Belasco has been beating them. Strange as if like the bruises have been forming in strange patterns. Like almost like splotchy skin in these strange sort of starburst patterns. None of the patterns are like a pattern in themselves, but they they just sort of look off to you. Sorry,
can
Andrew.
I see if they've got any puncture wounds or anything on them? Like if one of them runs by?
Yeah, 2 little girls run by. None of them have any puncture wounds or anything like that. Though you do notice that they have bruises and rashes sort of among them.
Gross. I do not touch them.
Damn, I don't have to ask you to make a constitution save.
Corvus, point that out at all?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's unfortunately, as you guys like look around, there's not really much interesting things. Nothing stands out to you guys about this orphanage that is intriguing.
Is there shutters on the windows or glass panes, or are they just open frames?
Open frames. There is shutters.
Any of them broken?
None of them are broken. No.
We'll do a lap around the house.
Okay. Yeah, none of them are broken. But you notice that like a few of them have loose, sort of hanging half off of their hinges.
Okay, when I complete the circuit, I'm going to come back and whisper in Riven's ear that none of the windows seem to be damaged in any way. Strange for someone to fall out of a window and not have any damage.
Yes, I agree. This is strange all the way around, but this town is strange.
It should be noted that as Lady Belasco is talking to you guys, she's not seeming like she's lying at all. She's more just concerned that you guys are random people off the street who walked up and talked to a orphanage lady.
And also donated money.
Donated money, yes, so she's happy about that. She's a lot more comfortable with Delvin.
Ill-gotten gains. Ill-gotten gains!
I'm just going to point out to Delvin the weird bruising and say, does that look normal to you?
Medicine check.
Medicine check, yes.
Delvin doesn't know I have the shuffle deck, I don't
nice.
think so.
Crap, Eric! Your rolls are phenomenal.
So
Wait till we get
your,
into combat.
I've seen this in a book.
your medicine check is telling you that it is not natural. It's not a disease either. This bruising seems to be magical in nature. From a 25, you can tell that it's it seems like something that might be like a fiend or a fae. That is, their presence can sometimes cause these kinds of wounds.
So, Madam Claudia, have you had anything unusual besides the random death today occur? Anything odd or unusual with the kids or around?
Well, normally I wouldn't add rumors about my children, but one of our children, Felix, has been very violent recently.
Might we see him or visit with him?
That's typically not allowed unless you are interested in adopting. Adopting is the word I'd use.
Well, say that I might be. I would like to also, make sure that his well-being is being taken care of, and perhaps there's something I can assist with. I am a priest after all.
Of course. Let me go try and find him now.
Thank you.
She sort of goes inside, and you can see her through the windows, like looking through a couple rooms and talking to some children. And eventually, she seems to go upstairs. A couple minutes later, she comes back and she says, "I apologize. I cannot seem to find him."
While she's gone, I'm gonna ask Delvin, why do you want to see this boy?
I believe there's something afoot with this strange rash and bruises on the children.
What strange rash and bruises?
Well, the one that Corvus pointed out to us.
I'll look closer and see some stuff.
Yeah.
I know what I'm talking about.
Once
Right.
they're pointed out, you do see these strange sort of starburst kind of bruises.
I believe it's some strange either fey or fiendish work at hand.
I will open my sight to them if she can find the boy.
Okay, sorry, you'll do. Oh, divine sense.
Open my sight.
Yeah, she says. Unfortunately, she can't find Felix. Many of the children you see go out to play throughout the town. They do come back by sundown.
What does he look like?
He's about 8 years old. Bright red hair.
No soul.
That's right here. That's a bit unusual around here, right? Just out of character, kind of.
It is, yes, but
Okay.
there were a few. You see, long ago, the devil, I believe we're supposed to call him, was one to bring in many different types of people here. So red hair is not entirely uncommon, but it is unusual.
Very good.
Unfortunately. I realize we just took a break, but do you guys mind if we take another quick couple-minute break?
It's fine.
Quite all right.
All right. Revan, do you tell me when you have turned off the stream?
Alright, doing so now. Be right back, guys.
All right. Oh man, I'm really bad at improv right now. So I unfortunately need to cut the night short tonight. Next week we will go through the adventures of what happens in the Wachter house, and perhaps even explore the mysterious wizard's castle on the lake, wizard's tower rather. But I need to go and sleep because I have not slept in much too long. And I will catch you guys next week. Next Saturday, same bat time, same bat channel.
Paavu lives.
All right, and I will catch you guys later.
Thanks, Mick.
Thanks, Mike.
All right.
See
Sleep
you
well.
later.
Get some rest.